50 Cent is one of the greatest rappers to ever pick up a microphone. A hustler who turned his life story of pain, struggle, and survival into a career that would change hip-hop forever. From the rough streets of South Jamaica, Queens, to selling millions of records worldwide, his journey is one of resilience, controversy, and dominance. To understand 50 Cent is to understand a man who came from nothing, lost nearly everything, and rebuilt himself into one of the most powerful names in the music industry. Born Curtis Jackson on July 6, 1975, 50 Cent grew up in South Jamaica, Queens, New York. His childhood was far from easy. He was raised by his mother, Sabrina, a young woman who hustled in the streets to survive. She dealt drugs to make ends meet, and by the time Curtis was just 8, tragedy struck. His mother was murdered. Under mysterious circumstances, leaving him without the one person who had been guiding his early life. With no father present, 50 was forced to move in with his grandparents, who tried their best to raise him, but the streets of Queens had already started shaping him to who he would become. As a young boy, Curtis became a troubled youth, exposed to crime and the harsh realities of poverty. By the age of 12, he was hustling in the streets himself, selling crack, cocaine during the peak of the crack epidemic. Unlike other kids his age who might have been focused on school, 50 was focused on survival. He was arrested multiple times for drug possession and dealing, and even once caught with crack vials and a starter pistol. While his grandparents tried to provide stability, it was clear that Curtis had chosen a different path. Hustling became his job, his way out of life, long before music ever entered the picture. Despite the chaos of his upbringing, Curtis found inspiration in hip-hop. Rappers like KRS-One, Rakim, and LL Cool J sparked the interest, but it wasn't until the mid-1990s that he seriously stepped into the booth to record music. He began rapping under the name 50 Cent, inspired by a Brooklyn stick-up kid known for robbing hustlers, adopting the name as a metaphor for change and survival. His raw storytelling, drawn directly from his experience in the streets, gave him a voice that was authentic and relatable to the struggles of many. His early recordings started gaining traction in New York, especially with tracks like How to Rob, a satirical song where he detailed how he would rob different celebrities in the industry. The track was both bold and controversial, quickly grabbing the attention of the hip-hop world. But fame also came with danger. During the come-up, 50 Cent found himself in the crosshairs of powerful enemies. His beef with Kenneth McGriff, a notorious drug dealer with alleged ties to Murder Inc., became deadly. 50 was accused of disrespecting Supreme through his lyrics, and tensions escalated. On May 24, 2000, outside his grandmother's home in Queens, 50 Cent was shot 9 times at close range in an alleged hit that many believe was ordered by Supreme. He was struck in his legs, arms, hands, chest, and even his face, leaving him with a permanently slurred voice. But in a twist of fate, he survived. The shooting only strengthened his reputation, turning him into a living legend before he even released a major album. Around this time, 50 Cent also found himself in a heated beef with Ja Rule and Murder Inc. The feud started after an altercation where 50 Cent claimed Ja Rule felt disrespected by his presence in Queens. From there, it spiraled into one of the most infamous rap beefs of all time. Diss tracks flew back and forth with 50 Cent dropping songs like Back Down and Wanksta, dismantling Ja Rule's credibility. Murder Inc. tried to stop his rise, but instead, the conflict only fueled 50 Cent's momentum. After recovering from being shot, 50 Cent caught the attention of Eminem, who was impressed by his mixtapes and relentless grind. Eminem introduced him to Dr. Dre, and together they signed him to Shady Records and Aftermath Entertainment and Interscope. This partnership would change the course of his career forever. In 2003, 50 released his debut album, Get Rich or Die Tryin, a project that became an instant classic. The album sold over 800,000 copies in its first week and eventually went on to sell over 10 million worldwide. With hits like In the Club, 21 Questions, and PIMP, 50 Cent became the face of hip-hop, dominating the charts and the streets at the same time. 50's relationship with Eminem and Dr. Dre proved to be a career-defining bond. With Dre's production and Eminem's co-sign, he had the perfect formula for success. But 50 wasn't just a rapper, he was a businessman. He built his G-Unit brand into a powerhouse, launching a G-Unit record label and signing artists like Lloyd Banks, Tony Yayo, and Young Buck. He also ventured into clothing with G-Unit apparel, securing himself as more than just an artist, but a mogul in the making. Controversy never left his side. 50 Cent was constantly in feuds, beefing with rappers like The Game, Rick Ross, Fat Joe, and even his former allies. His ruthless approach to competition mirrored his street mentality. He believed in eliminating rivals to remain at the top. But beyond music, he shocked the world with his business moves. His investments in vitamin water, which Coca-Cola later acquired, earned him hundreds of millions, proving he was strategic in the boardroom as he was in the booth. Through 50 Cent's reputation was shaped by hustling and violence. He also had legal troubles. He was arrested several times during his youth for drugs and weapon charges. By the time he hit mainstream success, he managed to stay out of prison. His early encounters with the law, however, added to his image as a hardened survivor. Over time, as the music landscape shifted, 50 Cent released more albums like The Massacre, Curtis, and before, Self-Destruct. Though none reached the cultural impact of his debut, still, he remained relevant through his business ventures and his transition into television and film. His most successful move came with creating and producing the hit TV series Power, which turned into a multi-show franchise and made him one of the most powerful figures in entertainment. From a fatherless child in Queens, raised by his hustling mother and later his grandparents, to a street hustler turned global rap icon, 50 Cent's life is a story of survival, reinvention, and relentless ambition. He overcame poverty, crime, and assassination attempts in industry politics to become a mogul who redefined what it means to be a hip-hop artist. 50 Cent is not just a rapper, he is a symbol of resilience, a man who was supposed to die before he had a chance to live his dream, but instead used every bullet scar as motivation to climb higher. His story will forever stand as one of the most incredible journeys in hip-hop history, proving that no matter how hard life hits, the hustle, ambition, and willpower to survive can turn anyone into a legend.